You recording?
It is.
Hello. Welcome. Happy, what is it? Tuesday night? Is it Tuesday? Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Raincross Farms Makery. I am Robin, if you're new. And behind the computer is Bill. He's helping me out with the technical stuff. And in my lap is Duke, our big dog Duke.
Ken's on time.
Hi, Ken. Welcome. You mean we don't have to start it over? Welcome, Ken.
Still want us to.
Okay, and let me see if I can get the live up on my phone. Turn down the volume. Not that. No, I just turned my phone off.
Hey, I was able to share it.
So that was not meant to be. Welcome, welcome. If you're what? Hello, Linda. If you're watching, please say hello. If you're new, let us know where you're from. If you are watching live, you'll have a box up here that's red that says live, and you'll know that you're in real time. If that box isn't there, you're watching the replay, and we would love it if you would comment #replay so we know you were here and we can say hello to you also. Okay, Duke, I'm going to get you down. Off you go.
Come on, buddy boy.
So,
hi, Patty.
Hey, Patty. Welcome. Okay, so a couple reminders. We would love it if you would love our page or like our page, whatever floats your boat. If you'd follow our page, and if you are so inclined to sprinkle, or this word right here, SHARE, you would spread our page around to others, we would love it. If you enjoy what you see and you want to get notifications right before we go live so you don't miss any of them, you can text the word live to 208-425-1960, and that will put you on our absolutely free text message list, and we'll shoot out a message to you right before we go on, and you can see if you're available to watch. So
he said he got a Christmas card. Oh, he called it a beautiful Christmas
beautiful
card.
Christmas. Well, thank you.
And he sent you 50 more stars.
Thank you so much. That almost pays for postage. Well,
That's all right. It's worth the postage.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you. Okay, so tonight's project, well, happy first day of winter. So apparently this is the shortest day and the longest night of the year. I don't know. Apparently. So I thought we would make a sign that's not so much Christmas, but using our Hello Winter transfer.
Hello, Winter.
Hello, Winter. So perfect timing, right? So I've got that, and the board I'm going to put it on. This is another one of my thrift store finds. This cost me all of $1.69 less my senior citizen discount, and it was originally from Ross for $4.99. So even when it was new, it wasn't super expensive.
Happy
Not too expensive, but it's a nice little sign, but it's kind of scratched up and ripped up. So we're gonna give it a sanding down, and we're gonna paint over it, and we're going to put on our Hello Winter. So let me get out my sanding block. This is the Yuletide. Happy Yule. Oh, okay. Okay, let me
It's
get.
also the first day. It's the beginning of summer.
Is this winter solstice? It's not summer. I don't know what you're talking about.
Because from this point on, days are getting warmer and warmer.
But that doesn't make it summer.
Goodness, Mr. Dixon would be so upset with you.
I don't know who Mr. Dixon is, and I don't really care if Mr. Dixon's upset with me. Okay, so I have a sanding block from the Dollar Tree, and so I'm just going to scrape this down, these little rough spots. It won't be perfectly smooth.
You must be what, Lana? No summer yet. I agree, Linda Lou.
Yeah, it's summer somewhere.
I'm enjoying this tremendously.
Okay, so this.
Cheryl says hello to Robin, Bill, Duke, Casey, Pimpa, Mr. Rooster, and his lady. And friends, including
Got them
Ken.
all. Those are the only ones that well, you feed the birds, but we don't name all the birds. We don't take the birds to the vet. Oh, we got some good news about Daisy and her leg. We found another vet surgeon who can take her in on December 30th.
Yeah, he's going to see her.
See her on December 30th instead of March 22nd.
And it's a she.
It's a she.
So that's good news. Daisy doesn't know what she's
No.
for yet.
It is 2 hours away in Oregon, Enterprise, Oregon, if anybody knows where that is. We are going to find out. Okay, so I've got that just kind of roughly sanded down. There's still some spots. Let me take off the dust.
It says your comment got away from her. Or she's going to say she must be really late because Ken is already here. Wow.
I think Ken is just trying to beat Cheryl.
You're just getting beat up tonight, buddy. I'm with you though.
Kind of got a
I'm
reputation.
on your side, Ken.
Okay, so I was thinking about what color background, and I thought, well, maybe I could do black and then do this in white. And I thought, no, I don't want to do black. So I'm gonna compromise. I'm gonna do, this is chalk paint. This is the color steel. So it's kind of a deep, not super deep gray, but I thought hopefully that will look nice on this background with white paste for our transfer.
Morning to all of you. I haven't set the camera colors yet tonight, so I'm adjusting as we
Okay,
go.
so who knows what color it'll show you? It might be purple.
Hey, you
Okay,
look pretty
so
tonight.
I'm gonna use
Your ruby red lips are going.
sponge brushes tonight. These were Dollar Tree, I'm sure. We'll pack 8 of them or so. And that won't fit in there, so I'm just gonna kind of
No,
pour it on.
Cheryl, I'm not on the wrong side. I have an X and a Y.
Okay, so I might have to do 2 layers of this. We'll see how well it coats.
See, there it is. I can see the problem. Watch this. This is the magic right here. This right here. Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. Okay, so this is going to need 2 coats, but that's okay. It's the longest night. We've got plenty of
Too
time.
far.
Hmm?
I went too far.
Too
It's
far.
it's all good now, baby. I got you covered.
Okay. And I just kind of spilled down the sides, so I guess I'm going to paint the sides.
You're gonna paint the side.
Or I could clean that up. Maybe I'll clean it up. Let me get a towel,
Never,
spray bottle.
never on the wrong side.
I was kind of hoping to leave the edges black. I could always
You can always paint.
I
them.
can always paint them black. That's true. Okay, so I got 1 coat on. It's not completely covering, so I'm going to dry this. And then put a 2nd coat on. And again, this is just chalk paint, Waverly chalk paint. I think I got this this is Walmart. If not, it's one of those craft stores. Any of the chalk paints. The chalk paint grips the surface pretty well. I sanded it first, so it's kind of got something to grip onto. It's pretty pigmented, so I can do it in fewer coats than an acrylic paint. But as you can see, it's kind of peeking through. So I'm going to have to do 2 coats. And it dries really quickly too. I probably wouldn't try this with acrylic, to just dry it and then do the stenciling. I think the acrylic paint has to cure a little bit longer. Where the chalk paint, I can usually dry it with the dryer and it's pretty well adhered. Okay, so what do you think of that gray color? Very neutral, which is kind of what I'm going for. That's one thing I have been told, if you are selling at a craft fair, you want to keep things neutral. Just because you decorate your house in green or peach or blue doesn't mean everyone does. So you get the highest appeal if you use very neutral colors. Whereas if it's your house, you want to do it in whatever colors you decorate in. Okay, so second coat. I'm going to go off the edge first, and then I'm going to go back with the grain. But I'm doing that so I don't get paint on the side because I'm painting off the board. But I do want my finished to be with the grain. Same thing on this side. Paint off the board. And then go back along with the grain. Do I have you mesmerized?
I am completely mesmerized. Everybody's sleeping.
Everybody's
tonight.
asleep.
They're not an active group tonight.
Well, it is the longest night. Maybe they feel like they have to,
Pacing themselves.
yeah, get an early start on their long winter's nap. Is that where that came from?
I'm ready.
I took a long winter's nap on Sunday.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Okay.
But we got most of our shopping done today.
Yes, we went into town one final time. We completely avoided the Walmart because it was a zoo.
Most
And
of the
we
places were zoos.
Purposely said last week when Walmart was still a zoo and it wasn't quite last minute yet, we thought this is the last time we're coming to Walmart before Christmas. We're only coming into town one more time, and that's for grocery shopping. So that's what we did today, and a few last minute gifts. So whatever we didn't get is not going to be given this year. Is everyone done with their shopping? Or are you still working on that? I'm waiting for, I think, one more delivery, one more, either Amazon or something delivery. And then I have to wrap everything.
Mama, did you get my gift yet? I'm waiting for it.
How many folks do we have on?
Right now, I'm only showing 4 or 5.
Okay.
That would be enough.
I'm okay with that. I would love to have thousands of people watching, but I like just having 4 or 5 too. Went to Costco today. It was awful. Our Costco was getting there. Not too bad though. We live in a small town, so busy at Costco means there's like 3 people in line. But from Southern California, we know what busy can really be. But we're kind of spoiled in this small town now.
What? You have 2 more gifts to send for Deacon Davidson? I have busy all day.
Oh, you have family at a distance, so you have to send.
The Deacon Davidson. Tim says he owns Walmart stock, but he's been supporting Tim's retirement.
Well, there you go. We might own some Walmart stock. I don't know. Depends on if they're part of our portfolio. Okay. You know, it's just so exciting watching paint dry. One good thing about chalk paint is you can kind of tell when it dries because it goes from shiny to matte. Boom.
Well, I'm about done. We have our boys coming on Friday. I have the Christmas Eve program I'm in charge of on Friday. I got to do the music at our Christmas Eve program. So I've got about, I don't know, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 songs that I have to prepare for. And
Lead them, not like solo,
Yeah,
but lead them.
I'm playing for Karen solo, and I'm playing for, I don't know if there's enough. And the hardest one is God Rest You Merry Gentlemen. There are so many cool things in that one. I actually did translate.
Well, you picked it.
Huh?
You picked the song, didn't you?
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that it means the song needed to be played.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys are under winter storm warning, and my boys are driving up the 5.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to avoid the 395 is probably closed.
Okay, so it's dry, but I am going to wax it, and I'm gonna be honest. The surface wax that I got from Chalk Couture is just so hard. I think I'm gonna send it back because I can't get it out of the container. So what I'm gonna do is what I've told you you can do. I'm gonna use the Johnson's Paste Wax, and it does.
While you're doing that,
Yes.
Alana asked, what brand of chalk paint do you recommend most? She's mainly used chalk.
Chalk paint like this. All I have ever used is Waverly or Folk Art. Those are the only two I've ever
Walmart
used.
and Joanne.
Walmart, Joann's, Michael. I think Michael's might even have their own brand. I haven't noticed a difference between Waverly and Folk Art.
Oh, she usually uses Folk Art.
Yeah, I haven't really noticed a difference. They both work equally well, so. And I haven't tried it. Maybe I'll need to do that sometime. I have seen on YouTube and Pinterest how you can make your own chalk paint out of acrylic paint. You add like plaster of Paris or something. Okay, so I'm just putting a little bit of this on. Again, it stinks. Okay, I don't want to put on too much wax or I will have trouble with my paste.
Cheryl, they're driving the entire length of California into Oregon, and then they'll come up and cross over Oregon. So they're probably, I hope they don't go all the way to Portland, but they'll probably go pretty far up Oregon that way and then over. So they're doing the entire length of California. Well, they do the 58 to Bakersfield, and Bakersfield north on the 5.
Okay, so I've got the wax. I told you this stuff stinks. I'm surprised you can't smell it where you are.
Oh, stop.
And I'm just applying this with a paper towel. It kind of tears up the paper towel, but that's okay. Again, so I'm buffing some on. I'm going to shut this because it stinks. It stinks, but it works.
Alana says, okay, she's mainly used Folk Art. I don't think we've ever used Waverly. Is there a preference one over the other? Do you have a preference?
I don't have a preference. It's whatever store I'm at and whichever one has the color I want. I really haven't noticed a difference between the two.
Joe, they're leaving Thursday and they'll be up here Friday.
They're driving straight through. Okay, so I've buffed it on and now I'm kind of buffing it off, and it has really made this surface smooth. The reason I'm doing it, if you don't know, the reason I'm doing it is because I'm going to put a sticky stencil on top of this. And I just freshly painted it, and it may or may not have cured enough yet. So don't want the sticky stencil to grab onto the paint and pull it up when I pull that up. And I also don't want to have the stencil adhere so tightly that when I pull it up, it stretches or tears. So I'm protecting both the surface and the stencil. This is our Hello Winter stencil. It's a size C transfer, so it's 12 by 18. But this one you cut apart. Put that over there. Okay. So there's Hello, and then there's Winter, and you can kind of configure it however you like. And then there's some little snowflakes and little snow dots, flurries. So I think I'm going to put Winter in this corner. And then I'm going to put Hello. Up top here. And then I think I will put a snowflake. And then I'm not going to completely trim these. I'm just going to cut through that mesh so I can keep the backer on this hole and just peel up the part so I don't have little stencil pieces all over. Okay, so I think I'm going to do Winter right there, and I'm going to get out my fuzzing cloth because that's something else I want to do to lessen the stickiness before I put it down here. So I'm going to peel this off. Our transfers are self-adhesive, reusable silk screen transfers. They are reusable 10 to 12 times. Depending on how well you take care of them, you might even get more uses out of that. I used some transfers to make some Christmas cards, and I probably used that transfer 20 times. And they're not nearly as sticky as when I first pulled them off the backer, but they still are sticky enough to work. Of course, I clean them in between. So I'm getting a little bit of fuzz on the stickiness. And there is a lot of fuzz on this. Too much fuzz. I'm going to move some of that fuzz.
You know, I just thought, you ought to get Alana up here next Christmas and she can play the piano for me.
Okay.
That's an idea.
You might be up here. Okay.
I'll get Alana up here at Christmas. She can play the piano for me. I don't have to do the whole thing with my guitar.
Well, you could get Neil to stay home. Okay, so I've got some chunkies. Somehow, I probably should have shaken off my...
Girl says your cards are beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so I'm going to place this about where I want
what's your color combination?
I'm just going to use white.
Just going to do white on the gray?
Yep, simple.
I was wondering...
You were.
I was. If you do the snowflakes and snow flurries in white and do the rest in a blue, light and dark green.
I could, but I'm going with the really neutral. So we'll see. You can do anything you want actually. So
So if the transfers lose their stickiness but are otherwise good, is there a way to refresh the sticky?
What you can do, if it's just like, it depends on if it's permanently unsticky.
Like if you hit it with solvent or something.
You could spray your surface, not your transfer. Spray your surface with a self-adhesive. What do you call it?
It's a movable adhesive spray.
It's an adhesive spray.
Removable.
Removable, yeah. You could spray your surface with an adhesive spray, and that would stick that down. If you sprayed the transfer, you will spray through the screen, and you don't want to spray the screen. If it's just slightly not sticky, you could, I'm going to wait on that one. If it's just slightly not sticky, here's a trick you can try. You don't want to do this all the time. But if you take like this is generic, not a baby wipe, but a Clorox wipe or a Pine Sol wipe or an antibacterial wipe, and you wipe off the sticky side. A lot of times when that dries, it rejuvenates the stickiness. But you don't want to use that because it's a chemical and it can break down the stickiness over time. So you don't want to do that every time. But I have heard that it will kind of help rejuvenate some of that stickiness. Now, I don't know if that's straight. Close enough. Darla's not on, that's close enough.
Wow.
Okay, so I'm going to use my Chalkology paste. This is bright white. It is chalk in paste form. And it looks like that. It kind of looks like sour cream. And I'm going to use my squeegee, and I'm just going to drag it over the screen. Now I'm pushing down to make sure that there's a little bubble right there. Make sure that I don't have any lint bubbles or air bubbles. And so that adhesive is grabbing onto the surface, because that will prevent the the paste from bleeding through. And it will just, there was something on my towel. Okay. So, a little bit of paste on my squeegee, and I'm just going to drag that across, pushing it. I don't have to push hard. I'm just making sure that that paste goes through the screen. So our paste is water soluble, cleans up with just water, and non-toxic, and it is what we call semi-permanent. So it is chalk, so it will dry like a stick of chalk. But once it's dry, it's what we call smudge and budge proof. So I can take these things and I can, without knocking them over, I can rub on it. It's not like I wrote on it with chalk and it wears off. It stays on until I'm ready to take it off. And if I've used a non-porous surface, I can wet the paste. It will soften it up, and I can scrape it off, and I can reapply. But until I do that, it stays where it belongs. And now I'm peeling. Ooh. Okay, so I did pull up a little bit of the paint.
The gray paint?
Yep. So I probably needed a little more wax, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with that.
Well,
so you can kind of see right there, I actually pulled up some of the gray paint. So I'm going to lay this down on my drying mat, and I'm going to spray it. Get this out of the way. Because I don't want this paste to dry in the screen, because that just makes it harder to clean. Not impossible, but harder. That back in there. And I'm going to dry this. So what I'll do is I will wash off that screen, and I will lay it back down, and I'll paste over that and put another layer of white down there on that. Okay, I like that contrast. I was afraid the gray wouldn't be dark enough. But I like it. Put that down. And let me, just to prevent anything over here, I'm going to put just...
Donna said if you're having difficulty getting paste cleaned out of the screen, is it safe to use something like a really soft bristle toothbrush or something to remove it?
Really, really soft. Yep, really soft.
But you know what? I think honestly, if you just,
So you can just let it
you were
soak.
to just soak it.
They don't recommend that you soak them regularly, but if you have some paste that dried, you can soak it for a couple of minutes in lukewarm water, not hot, but lukewarm water. Let it soak for just a couple of minutes, and that paste should kind of soften up. You might even just like with your fingernail kind of scrape at it, not hard. But that should loosen it, or a really soft bristled.
Okay, so now you're going to repair it? Is that what you're doing now?
Well, I'm going to do the hello,
Go back to
and then I'll go back and I'll repair it because I got to clean.
Cheryl was saying, could you just touch it up with a
I could,
Could,
I could, but when you paste over the screen, it leaves a texture, and you can't match up that texture with a brush. So I could put color down, but the texture wouldn't match. So if I looked up close at it, I would be able to tell it was a touch-up.
The texture comes from the screen itself and the different thicknesses of the threads. At least that's what we found in when I was printing on shirts and clothing and whatnot.
This is me. Hello. Hello, Winter. Hello. Okay. Same thing. White paste. Drag it across. Scrape off the excess, put it back in my jar because I can reuse it. Now I'm going to pull this up slowly, and if I see that it is pulling up paint, I'll stop pulling and maybe pull the transfer from the other side. But I think between the extra wax and the extra fuzzing, I have no problems there. Spray this down. Okay, so I have Hello Winter. What do you think? And I'm going to add some snowflakes. So let me try this. I did it right side up. Yep. I didn't check to see where the hanger was. Okay. So let's see, a snowflake. Okay. Okay, now I need your help. Where do I want these snowflakes? I have large, medium, and small. Mama snowflake, daddy snowflake, and baby snowflake.
And
Should I put daddy snowflake over Winter? And maybe a couple mama and babies under hello? What do you think? What about you? What do you think?
I'm looking at it upside down, but I think I'm leaning toward putting the big one under the hello.
Right there.
Yeah, and some of the little
And maybe
corners around it. And then,
And then a couple of,
yeah, those in
Okay.
space.
Okay.
Even 2 or 3 of the babies on.
let's start with Daddy Snowflake.
Hey, Melissa, hello.
Hey, Melissa,
And thank you
welcome.
for sprinkling.
But Cheryl, you're right. You could touch it up with a brush, especially if it was just a little teeny section. might not be worth doing it, but that's kind of a big chunk right there. So I think I'm going to lay the stencil back down over it. So again, I'm fuzzing this really well, and
Melissa says that's very pretty. And Melissa, what you might not know is that's actually recycled from Idaho Youth Ranch thrift
store.
And she just painted gray chalk paint over the top of the whole surface, and now she's stenciling on it. Did I say that right?
Yes. Yes.
Did I
you
pass
did. You explained it very, very well.
Oh, thank you so much.
Okay.
Patty says, "Mom and baby at the end of winter."
Okay, at the end of winter?
That's what she said. I'm wondering if up in the loop area.
Okay. Okay, so while I've got Daddy, where should I put him? Like up here? Or should I not do another Daddy?
Start with the little ones first.
Okay. I was going to try to do it while it was. Okay. And let's see.
My gut is saying less might be more.
Less is more. Okay. So how about
Yeah.
Mama right there? Ooh, didn't. Probably would have been okay. Got to fuzz.
Daisy, what are you chewing on?
Something I found.
Trying to stick?
Probably a stick. Okay, so how about right there?
You found a stick. Good for you, girl. You go right ahead and chew your stick. You're a good baby girl.
You know what? This one's kind of big. I'm going to use my mini squeegee.
You can chew your stick. I don't know what it is about this dog, but she loves her sticks.
But she always has this guilty look when when you bring it to her attention. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's just do one right there. I'm not even gonna push down. Small enough I don't have to push down around it. Stick one there. And
That's the baby one, or that's mom?
that's Mama.
I put a couple of the baby ones inside the T crossing.
Okay.
That loop.
Should I put another Mama somewhere? How about off the edge?
There you go. Think outside the box.
Okay, we'll put, because sometimes Mama goes off the edge.
Oh, Melissa said she received her holiday stocking transfer.
Woohoo!
Can't wait to work on it tomorrow. Yay, you are welcome.
Okay, there we go. Off the edge, and how about one up here off the edge?
What, am I not clear enough?
There we go. Okay. Now, some baby snowflakes. Fuzz, fuzz, fuzz.
Apparently, I'm not petting Daisy enough. She keeps in my hand like, hey, I'm right here. Big brown.
Okay, so
Jackson Brown must have been some of that.
okay, baby snowflake. And you said inside here?
Closer to,
Closer
Yeah.
to,
in other words, on center.
like, up there?
My video got interrupted. Yeah, somewhere in that area.
We're just randomly applying snowflakes,
Yes,
because
you
that's
are.
what snowflakes do.
They're very random.
They like to be random.
So last night or the night before, I went out and tried to catch snowflakes on my tongue. Yeah,
How'd you do?
It was harder than I thought. They just float all over the place. That's looking good.
I think you just go out and open your mouth, and they either find you or they don't. Do I need one inside the W?
I think so, but I'm thinking, yeah, down toward the bottom. That's the baby one, right?
It's the baby.
Now start with the dots.
I have to do dots. One more baby up here.
Okay. Little baby up there, baby.
Okay, baby up there. We're just going random. Okay, now I've got some dots.
Here comes Ready? Did you run? I didn't hear you barking. Must be raining out there. You sweat.
Okay. Okay, how about right there? And I'm not even going to push down hard on this because I don't want to pull up the previous, the chalk I just put down.
Did any of you take a chance at doing those plastic cups, or has it been too fast? You haven't had a chance to get some flowers.
We watched a video today of somebody else trying it, and they used the heavy duty solo cups, and theirs was kind of interesting. Theirs melted out the middle.
Almost like a wreath. Yeah, those look like a pattern now, so don't use the whole thing.
Remove the edge. Okay,
Up in the little babies up at the top,
up here.
to your left, there in that area, but don't use the whole thing because you don't want it to look like a pattern. Linda Lou said your card today was her first card. So thank
Oh.
you.
Well, you are welcome. Those were fun to make. Okay, so that's
Ken,
one
are you
set of
still on
dots.
here? Did you go back and watch that video on the cups?
okay. And then here's a little smaller flurry. And let's put,
Boy, Alana, you act like you have a life or something. Like you work for a living or something like that.
well, she's about to have some time off, right? Is this your last week of work? Or are you off already?
Ken says he went back and watched it. So, Ken, do you think that's something you could do? I mean, is it something you would do? That's a good question.
Okay.
Wanna come up?
You know what? Let's put a couple of dots up here in the corner. And call it good.
Patty said down by the W, down by the, oh, yeah, down at the, yes,
Like right there?
yeah. Well, maybe even on the top too, above it, just really close to the W in there. I agree. What are you doing, buddy? You're just wanting some attention, aren't you?
Okay. How's that?
Let's look a little more random.
Okay. Well, like you said, less is more. And I want to go back and fix the winter.
Lana says tomorrow's her last day until the 3rd of January. Yay.
All right. Okay, so because I had that little boo-boo there, I'm going to fix it. And I'm going to start with some water. I'm going to clean off my transfer. So I'm going to start with a paper towel and some water
Patty said that's pretty.
and clean off as much of this paste as I can. And I just realized I left my board eraser upstairs, but I'm about due for a new one anyway. So I'm going to get out a new board eraser. Okay, so while I'm cleaning this, let me tell you about something that's going on tomorrow. Chalk Couture is having an end of the year blowout sale. And they haven't told their designers everything about it, except that it starts tomorrow at In Pacific time, it starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. And they are going to have about 30 transfers on sale, marked down to 50% off. And if you're a club member, if you're a member of our monthly DIY subscription club, you get 60% off of those 30 transfers. Now, they haven't told us what the transfers are. And there's also one surface. They did tell us the surface is the heart cutouts. So that's an awesome sale. If you are interested, it's while supplies last. So when they sell out, they won't be getting any more. So if it's something you're interested in, I suggest you get on the website right at 8 o'clock Pacific time and see what's there and get it ordered.
Linda says, wow.
Yes. So
Wow.
now if you are one of my designers, you also can order it, but I'll explain to you how. So I will, after this, I will sit down and type up an email, because it's not going to be on the designer's site. It's only going to be on the customer's site. So I have to show you how you can order them also. So I will explain that in an email to any of my designers. So if that's something you think you're interested in and you would like to save an extra 10% off of the 50%, you could right there on the website sign up for the club. And then when you put in your order, they will give you 60% off. So keep that in mind. You can earn yourself an extra discount if you have been playing around with the idea of joining the club anyway. If you're already a club member, you will get 60% off of any of those. So that's a pretty awesome deal. That's more than what designers get. We only get 40% off. So that's a great deal. So because I'm going to use this right away, I'm going to dry this off with a paper towel. Ordinarily, I would just let it air dry, but I don't want to wait around. So I'm just going to paper towel it dry so I can relay it down.
Doesn't that start getting sticky and start ripping up your paper towel?
A little bit, but I'm not pushing very hard. But yes, if this were completely dry, and you can see how sticky it is, then I wouldn't want to put paper on it. Okay. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to fuzz this. I'm going to make sure it doesn't have any big chunks of fuzz. Fuzz this again. So that's how you clean a transfer. Let it air dry and then take the backer sheet and put it back down. Put the shiny side to the sticky side. Big old hair. I know it's mine.
Not mine.
Yours aren't long enough.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is it a Duke hair?
Nope. Duke's hairs aren't that long.
No, me too.
Okay, so I've got that fuzzed. Now I'm going to lay this back down right over.
And you did dry everything, right?
I did. Well, I didn't dry the snowflakes, but it's been long enough. So I can tell exactly where that lines up. And I can lay it right back down. I'm not going to push hard because I don't want to pull up any more of that gray paint. But I've got it laid right back down exactly where it was the first time. You can do that when the transfer is, the font is a little wide. If it's really thin, then it's hard to get it lined up. But something like this, real easy to line up. And I'm going to go back to my it's a small squeegee, but it's bigger compared to the mini. And I'm going to just go over it again, especially getting that spot that got left off. And I'm doing the whole thing just so it looks consistent. I really only needed to do that part, but there were some spots that maybe needed a little extra. And I'm squeegeeing off my excess. And I'm going to stick that in some water. I'm going to close this up, and I'm going to start to peel slowly.
Slowly.
Well, that didn't like it. I'm going to try this. I'm going to get my finger just barely moistened.
Wish I could zoom in on it for people, but I'm able to do that. You can see it in the screen.
Yeah.
But that big glaring one disappeared.
Yeah. I probably should have put more wax down, but it looks good. I think it's okay.
I think it'll be fine.
There's a couple of spots that look a little rustic. What did I do with my...
Hello, Winter.
Hello. Hello there. Okay, and I'm going to spray this again. Clean that up later. You saw me how I cleaned it. Okay. Now, Cheryl, there is a little spot here that still is out, but that is something I would take. In fact, you do that. I would just take my little detail tool for just that little section. And I'm just going to put a little dot right there because that's just so small it doesn't pick up the texture. But
Patty says she loves that word,
rustic, yes,
it.
that's what you call things. Okay, so there's a little goober here that I may still go back later and try to smooth that out. But I'm not gonna re-chalk the whole thing. But there we go. We have it. Now I also played around with the idea, but I'm not gonna do it. Is put the transfers back down, and instead of going over it with paste, go over it with some glue. So I put some glue on that surface and then sprinkle it with glitter. But I'm not gonna do that tonight because we've kind of been going on kind of long. But you can use glue on our transfers. However, you've got to get it cleaned out right away. That's not something you can let dry in your screen because that will just ruin your transfer. So you can use some glue through the screen, or I could just take the glue and kind of trace over or put it just in those dots. So I could do that too. But that'll be a craft for another day. But here's my Hello Winter sign. Easy peasy. If you're interested in the transfer, if you comment, what did I say, winter? If you comment winter in the comments, my bot should, I've been having trouble with my bot should send you the information. If not, I will go through and I will send it to you.
She hasn't been having trouble with me. It's been with the bot.
It's the bot, not the bill. Okay, so if you comment winter, you should get the information on the transfers that I used and all the supplies I used tonight. If you're interested in the sale, you can comment sale, but I think that's one of the comments that I'm having trouble with. But if you comment sale, I will make sure I send you a messenger with some more information about the sale. Again, you can just go to my chalk site. I'll send you that address. And it starts at 8 o'clock Pacific time, and you can look to see what they have on sale. It will probably be under specials tab anyway. Or you can look on our website, not our website, our Facebook page, Raincross Farms Makery Facebook page. And I will put up a post with the link to the site when we get more information about what's going to be up. So it's going to be a surprise for us too, but it'll all be good stuff. Okay, so don't miss that sale. 50% off for just a regular customer. If you're a club member, you get 60% off. And if you want to sign up for club, you can do it right on the same site.
Sale is not showing.
Okay, sale's not working, so I will go through and I will send you the link
Winter
on
work.
sale. Okay. You're not the boss around here. Well, sometimes, sort of. Okay.
Duke was the boss.
Okay, so here we go. And Alana, I will send you an email because you're a designer and you need to access the sale a little bit differently. So here's our sign.
Thank you for the stars.
Oh, thank you. Awesome. So, welcome winter. Is that
Hi,
crooked?
Beth.
Hello, Beth.
Beth Hillis Turner is on.
Okay, well, thanks for spending your first winter evening with us. Go enjoy the rest of your longest night and enjoy the rest of your week. And we will probably be on again tomorrow. I'll probably be on talking about what transfers were on sale. Anyway, if I've got any of them, I'll pull them out and we'll do something with them. Okay, so cute idea, thrift store find. I paid $1.69 less senior citizen discount for this surface, painted over it, and I have a really cute Hello Winter sign I could hang in my house,
Good night,
greet my
Cheryl.
visitors. Okay, so good night, everybody. Oh, you want to sign up? Awesome. Okay, I'll send you a message. Are you in? You're in Arizona? Linda, are you in Arizona? I don't want to be messaging you if it's like midnight where you're at. But anyway, I will send you a message. Okay. Again, thanks again. Thanks for liking and following and spreading the love, sprinkling, and we will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.